Is your cleverly crafted lead gen email campaign not yielding the results you anticipated? You might have taken the time to personalize your message, choose each word with care, and design it around what you thought would make a lead click through. But still, your inbox remains quiet, and the sales numbers aren't rising. There lies a significant challenge in this scenario. Without an effective email strategy, your company's potential for growth and reach may take a hit. Even more concerning is the fact that a poorly performing email campaign doesn't just reflect in your lead tallies. It reaches further, touching every aspect of your company's sales potential. When leads aren't gathered efficiently, opportunities are missed, and growth targets seem all that more distant. The complexity of this challenge boils down to not just what you're saying in your emails or how you're saying it, but understanding the intricate dance between different components of your email. It's about decoding the unique combination of phrasing, call to action, and personalization efforts that unlock the door to a successful lead generation strategy. This means diving into the meat of your email campaigns, dissecting the elements piece by piece, and testing variations to see what really resonates with your prospects. Let's face it, this isn't just about sending an email anymore. It's a strategic battle for the inbox, a competition for attention in a world flooded with information. With multivariate testing, you can arm yourself with data-driven insights to refine your emails for maximum impact. But how do you get there? How do you construct a multivariate test that gives you reliable data without pulling you into a whirlpool of complexity? Let's walk through this step by step. Understanding multivariate testing basics. Before you take the plunge into the world of multivariate testing, let's lay the groundwork. We're not testing for the sake of testing here. The goal is to learn specifically which elements of your email pack the punch to drive responses. First, pinpoint what parts of the email you want to put under the microscope. Maybe it's the subject line that greets the recipient, or the opening line that sets the stage for your message. It could be the product descriptions or the call to action, CTA, that urges them to act now. These are all your actors, and you're the director here. You decide who gets the spotlight. Now let's talk goals. What's your aim with this test? It's essential to set clear objectives. Maybe you're trying to boost your click-through rates, or perhaps you want to see a spike in downloaded content from email links. Knowing your objective sharpens your focus. Metrics are your measuring tape in this scenario. Decide on which ones matter the most to you: click-through rates, conversion rates, maybe even overall lead generation numbers. Keep your eye on these, as they'll tell you if you've hit the mark or not. A little bit of statistical knowledge goes a long way. You don't need a degree in math, but understanding the basics like sample size and confidence levels will help you make sense of the results later on. Think of it as knowing the rules of the game before you start playing. Lastly, choose a tool fit for the job. There are a number of software options designed to make email variate testing smoother. Pick one that suits your company's size and your campaign's complexity. This software is going to be your sidekick, so choose wisely. All right, now that you've got the basics in your toolkit, it's time to set the stage for your multivariate test. Let's whip your email components into shape and find out what combination will take your lead generation from a slow trickle to a steady flow. Designing your multivariate test. With the fundamentals out of the way, you're ready to roll up your sleeves and get into the nitty-gritty. Designing your test. This stage is where your creativity meets the scientific method. Think of your email as a canvas for your test designs. Based on what you've learned from email best practices, start creating different flavors for each element of your message. The variations you craft should be distinct enough to pinpoint what works and what doesn't. If you tweak the CTA, for instance, switch up the wording drastically so the difference isn't missed. Make sure you're not just tossing around changes willy-nilly. You want your test to give you clear, decisive results you can act on. So if you're playing around with the subject line, one variation could be a question, while another is a bold statement. The key is variety. It's also essential to keep your segments in mind. If you're reaching out to executives, they may not respond the same way your mid-level management folks do. Tailor your test components to suit the right group so that your findings are relevant and actionable. Next, you'll need to lay out a roadmap for your test. You're designing not just the what, but the when and to whom. This means structuring your timeline to avoid other marketing campaigns that could skew your data and confuse results. All set with those variations? Good. Now schedule your test. Keep in mind other marketing campaigns and industry events. You want a clean read on results with no outside noise. Crafting a sophisticated multivariate test involves attention to detail and the willingness to let data drive your strategies. It's this combo of careful planning and targeted creativity that will bring in the actionable insights you need to level up your email game. Let's dive into how you'll take these plans and put them into action. Implementing the test and analyzing results. Now that you've got everything set up, it's time to launch your test into the wild. As you hit send on your multivariate email campaigns, you're not just casting lines into the water, you're taking a science-backed shot at hooking those leads. Here's where your chosen software takes center stage. It's time to use that nifty tool to distribute your email variations. Keep an eye on deliverability metrics. After all, the best email content in the world won't matter if it doesn't reach the inbox. As the campaign runs, it's not just a waiting game. If you can, monitor the outcomes in real time. This can give you the chance to spot any issues early and, if needed, make quick tweaks. But remember, patience is key. You need enough responses to make your results statistically significant. Jumping to conclusions early could lead you down the wrong path. Wait for enough data to roll in before you start interpreting. Once you've got your data, it's crunch time. Put on your detective hat and start looking for trends. Maybe one CTA outperformed the rest, or a certain personalization approach got the cold shoulder. Keep those original goals and metrics in mind. They're the yardstick you'll measure success by. Now, take what you've learned and use it to refine your future emails. Found a winning formula? Great, but don't get complacent. The marketplace and your audience's preferences are always evolving. Consider running new tests down the line to keep up with the changes. In conclusion, multivariate testing isn't just a task to tick off. It's an ongoing commitment to excellence in your email campaigns. By implementing methodical testing and thorough analysis, you'll transform your lead generation tactics from guesswork to a data-driven strategy. The difference will show not just in your metrics, but in the trust and engagement you build with your audience. Keep refining, keep analyzing, and watch your results grow. Summary. To sum it all up, stepping into the arena of multivariate testing for your email campaigns might seem a bit daunting at first. It's a world where small changes can have big impacts, and each variable could be the key to unlocking your lead generation potential. Starting from scratch, you've built a strong foundation by understanding what multivariate testing entails. Remember, it's all about learning which specific email components resonate best with your audience. You've got the right tools and objectives in place, and you're ready for action. You've also crafted a test that's not only informed by your goals, but is creative and structured. By planning your campaign's different versions and timelines, you're set up to interpret your results effectively. And finally, you've sent out your messages, collected the data, and now you hold valuable insights in your hands. Insights that should shape how you approach every future email campaign. Keep this in mind. Your work here isn't a one-off. It's about regular refinement and staying agile. As markets shift and audience preferences evolve, so should your approach. The tactics that work today might need tweaking tomorrow, and that's okay. By routinely putting your emails through the crucible of multivariate testing, you're not just hoping for the best, you're actively pursuing excellence. You're making sure that every email sent is not just a message, but a stepping stone towards more robust client relationships and ultimately a more successful business. Carry this mindset forward and watch how your email strategy begins to grow your leads, drive engagement, and amplify your sales. Happy testing.